Hello, we are the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Amy.
I'm Kayla. One podcast,
Two sisters. This is
episode number 65. And we are going to be doing a Vanderpump Rules recap with very special guest at thebravobabe. And we had the best time with her. I'm so excited for you guys to listen. But before that, we do a Taylor Swift deep dive. We talk about the surprise selling sunset wedding, a major Bachelor couple breakup, and Amy talks about her personal scandal.
Let's get into the episode.
I feel like it's been a big week. This might be an extra long episode. We don't know for sure because we're just recording at this point, but we've got a lot to say.
Yeah, we do.
There are rumors that Joe cheated on Taylor Swift. We haven't touched base on this breakup, all the developments since this happened. And, you know, we're both big Swifties. We're going in August. But let's start from the beginning. Some big things happened, and Taylor Swift announced Speak Now, Taylor's version that is coming out on July 7th. Where do you think Speak Now, Amy, lands on, the...
I can't give it a number because I have literally struggled trying to put them all in order and what I like the most, and I just cannot because they're all just for a different season. And I will say Speak Now has a very special place in my heart because it was when I was, how old was I? I don't know,
the ones that came
beginning
out
of high school,
yeah.
Like the beginning of high school-ish.
Those are important.
And so I just remember having my first little breakups and having my first little things and laying in bed listening to Haunted.
I was going to say Haunted is the best one on the album.
Yes. And Enchanted, I remember. And just laying there crying to it and screaming it and happy. And it just holds a special place in my little teenage heart. So I love it. And I'm so excited. And it was announced on the same day. The Summer I Turned Pretty announced that they're coming out. So I'm like, there's got to be something. They've got to be related in some way.
Coming out. Summer I Turned Pretty is coming out exactly a week after Speak Now, Taylor's version. And we know that basically Taylor Swift is its own character in that TV series. And that's, I believe, last time when she was doing the other Taylor's version, This Love, she did a very specific one just for the show. So I'm really excited to kind of see if any of her vault songs are going to be on the newest season.
Yes.
She said there's going to be 6 new songs. And and also, have you seen the pictures? People are convinced. So I'm assuming it makes sense in the timeline that she's already filmed some music videos for it. And people think there's one of her and a guy running away with records. So I think the story is going to tell her taking her music and making it people think is Taylor Lautner in the music video, her ex. So I literally have goosebumps. I
kind of got a little too.
I get so riled up about Taylor Swift. So along with Taylor Swift, some things that have been happening is obviously the breakup was announced, and then she's been seen hanging out with all of her famous friends. And as soon as we see them hang out, like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, for example, they both unfollowed Joe the day after. This has happened with 5 different groups of her friends that immediately after she unfollows her. So there's 2 things. There's a rumor that he cheated on a co-star or cheated on her with a co-star. And then second, that Joe's the one who leaked the breakup.
Ooh.
So question mark on that.
And do we know how long they've been broken up though? Because that's where it gets sketched.
Yes. So without getting into the Matt Healy of things, we'll get to that next. The last time that they were seen together was in December.
Okay.
So so
it couldn't have been longer than that.
January, February is when they broke up. So a few months before Midnights came out. But Midnights would have been sealed and delivered already by then. Because I know some people are saying, oh, Midnights is a breakup album. I even thought that. But with this new information, it is not a breakup album. And we still have that one coming.
Oh,
I know.
Juice.
And then
so much. That's going to be good. I love Taylor Swift, but I love Taylor Swift even more when you're going through a hard time of with a guy or something. And so that's kind of with the newer albums, I haven't 100% gotten in as deep just because that's less relatable for me in my life.
Sure.
But oh my gosh, maybe me and Jared should break up right before that comes out and then we'll get back together after. But I want to feel it.
Scandal for you getting mad again. And then
there you go.
Come back. And speaking of everyone's freaking out all of a sudden, did you see the rumors now of who Taylor Swift is dating?
Matt Healy, right?
Yeah. So I didn't know who he was before. Did you?
1975.
Okay. Yes. He's the lead singer of 1975. And Jack Antonoff, who writes songs with both of them. You know, Jack Antonoff, he's the kind of he writes a lot of songs with her. And that's
Okay.
how they connected. And apparently they are dating, but it's casual. It's not like a exclusive thing. And I didn't believe any of it until he showed up at Nashville Eras tour right
Mhm.
after it happened. And then a video came out. So the night that Matt Healy was at the Nashville Eras tour, Taylor Swift is seen mouthing something. Cardigan is about to play from Folklore. We need to make Amy a Folklore girly because it,
Oh, I love Cardigan.
okay,
I know
all
that
right. So
one.
Cardigan, you seen mouthing on the screen of this song is about you. You know who you are. I love you. Interesting, right? Couple days before, Matt Healy is seen at his show mouthing the exact same thing before a song. So that's when my antennas came up because I was like, wait, Folklore, her and Joe were still together. How is this possible? And then I started rethinking everything I knew and I figured it out. I did some digging.
Okay, help,
Yeah.
because I need.
Because Folklore, she's been really open. It's more about imagination and storytelling. Maybe sometimes it has
Mhm.
nothing to do with her life. But I listened to Cardigan again, just with fresher eyes, with this knowing, and it's talking about a past relationship. And
Okay, and they used to date?
I didn't know this, but they used to date briefly, very briefly. It hasn't been confirmed, but like
Yeah.
what
They're, like, seen around.
couples are never confirmed, and you just like know because they were. But in 2016, they dated briefly.
So Evan, our brother, though, says that he just thinks that they're all, like, been really good friends for a long time, and even if they both did the same thing, that it's just, like a friendship I love you.
Okay, interesting. But I don't know. It seems like passionate lyrics. I don't know. I mean, people there is that if it plays devil's advocate. People are thinking it could be like a bit, or like he's going to be on maybe like one of the Speak Now Vault songs, and they're like,
Which I would love. I love
well,
1975. Have
okay,
you
I'm
ever,
not like a fan.
list
Like I probably would like maybe recognize one of their top hits if I read.
I I don't want your body, but I hate to think about you with somebody
Wait,
else.
I'm not so sure. I thought at first maybe, but then you lost.
Okay, you need to look everybody needs to look up Somebody Else by 1975. That's, like, my favorite.
Okay,
I
I'll
love
look it
that
up.
song.
Well, kinda just basically Matt Healy being problematic. I don't know if you know much about him individually. Samantha Bush, or she's at Bravo Historian on Instagram, um, kind of was saying why Matt Healy is problematic and we shouldn't be kind of shipping. Why are people forgetting Matt Healy literally did the Nazi salute? And also, in the same month, he did the Hitler salute, and he also posted a list of Jews on his Instagram, Truman Black. This made many Jewish people uncomfortable as it was reminiscent of what the Nazis made list of Jews. And then in
That's
February of
weird.
this year, Maddie appeared on a podcast where his friend and the host laughed as they made racist comments. So it definitely is like Taylor Swift's judgment, like what? But she is like going through a breakup. He's maybe a rebound guy. And
Maybe like a
sometimes
bad boy, you
the
know?
worst guys are the rebound guys. Sometimes you have to choose the worst ones and just use them and throw them away afterwards.
Yeah, because it can be better because then you can kinda justify it to
Right?
yourself.
I mean, I'm trying to think also Taylor Swift's track record, like John Mayer, Jake Gyllenhaal, all pieces of
Oh,
crap.
speaking of John Mayer, poor guy. Well, not even poor guy because he probably deserves it, but he's about to get the rain of hell fired down on
Yes.
him.
In case you guys don't know, Red was Jake Gyllenhaal's album. And Speak Now is John Mayer's album, the time that she dated him, the infamous song Dear John. And funny that you say that, I took some screenshots. There's over 12,000 comments on John Mayer's latest Instagram post, all from Swifties. Let me give you some examples. You would have, could have, should have left Miss Swift alone. It's your turn, Mr. John. And another person's like, knock, knock. And the other person's like, she was 19. You should have known. You should have known. You're going to need a getaway car. July 7th, bunch of hearts. If I were you, I'd be hiding myself for the rest of the year. You are an expert at sorry. Like people are doing Taylor Swift lyrics.
That's
If
funny.
you message Jake, he might have some pointers for hiding in public for the next few months.
Did Jake Gyllenhaal ever actually, like, respond to
I wish
anything?
he did.
I mean, you probably
Oh, but
just can't.
one of the best things ever. Watch What Happens Live. You should really watch it. It's iconic. And Maggie Gyllenhaal was on one
Mhm.
time, and I don't remember who else was on or what they were asking, but they asked her, who was your favorite Taylor Swift ex? And then I think they straight up asked her if she has a scarf, because the All Too Well is like, left your
Yeah.
scarf at your sister's house, which is Maggie.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
don't remember specifics actually now that I'm talking about it, so we can maybe cut that out, or if you guys want to go look. But Maggie Gyllenhaal, Watch What Happens Live if we keep it.
Yeah, I say let's go look.
So I mean, they're just having way too much fun in the comments, and I love it. I love it's just very, it's not like hate
It's so in the past.
I feel like it's funny, like it's not mean.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So that is your Taylor Swift deep dive. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I love talking about it, and let's get into reality TV news.
Nick and Danielle from Love is Blind Season 2. There are some things going on that might indicate that they're back together. They posted a picture on her story together. So
I was shocked.
very shocked, but I'm actually all for it. I want them. Maybe they needed to deal with this trauma that they experienced and find their ways separately afterwards to maybe come back together.
Or maybe they just needed Nick Viall.
Oh, there you go. Matchmaker man. Yeah, right. Whatever. Don't give him any credit for that.
Right? And I think it's even bigger news, because they weren't just like boyfriend and girlfriend who broke up. They're like divorced. So the fact that it's also friendly exes, like that could be it. But I mean, they were definitely doing it to stir some drama, but I'm here for it. And we will be watching it with an eagle eye to see if they actually canoodle further.
Yes. So there's other canoodling going on. Tell me about that.
Yes, there is. Micah posted on Instagram, and Shane commented. And I don't know if you saw before, Shane has kind of throughout season 4 stood up for Micah, like via TikTok videos and stuff like that, doing like his Love is Blind hot takes. And so it's a cute picture of her in a black slinky dress, and he says, "The only jackpot is finding the love of your life." And then Micah responded, "You?" Question mark.
That's
Micah,
intense.
Right? Micah and Shane. Would you ship this?
No.
Me neither. I don't like it at all.
Not even a little bit.
That does not make sense. So let's
But again, it could just be another attention thing. Like, who knows? That gets people talking.
It does. I mean, we're talking about it right now.
Yep.
And
this has got to be one of the most shocking pieces of reality TV news, in my opinion. Chrishell and G Flip married. Were they engaged? Did I know?
I don't think they were engaged. I think
Did they go to Vegas?
I don't know. I think it was Vegas. I probably should have looked more up into it. But basically, she posted a video, and it was like how it started and how it's going. But I did not know. I did not get from that video that they were married until other like media things started posting that they're married. Because the picture that you see, it does have like a bouquet, but like a very understated, like, they dress up all the time. So I thought they were just doing like a cute pose. I had no idea it was a wedding. So apparently it is confirmed that they are married and it was a wedding. Everything else is kind of a big question mark. And I think it is interesting, kind of we're exactly a week. By the time this comes out, it's exactly a week since Selling Sunset season 6 premieres, where G Flip is kind of going to have her first time being on the show. So will we see them get engaged this season?
I don't know. I'm actually excited because I guess from the beginning of this relationship, I truly didn't take it that seriously. I knew they were together and like everything like that, but I thought it was more like they're just having fun. I didn't see it as a for real thing. And here we are, married. Yeah, so that's awesome. I mean, like Chrishell, I love her happiness. So way to go.
Exactly. Like I'm shocked too, but not in the fact that like I didn't think that I thought they maybe even still could end up together. I guess just because it kind of came out of nowhere, and it shouldn't be that surprising to us that she would want to have that like commitment and like that start of a family, because that's why she broke up with Jason.
That's true. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, so I think, if her and G Flip are wanting the same things and they can come together and like have that family, like I'm so happy for her. And I am pretty positive they are filming season 7 right now. So I will revolt if I don't see the wedding.
Oh, yes. 100%.
Today, they also dropped the new like promo pic for it, and they all look divine. So I'm really looking forward to the season.
So let's get into some Bachelor news.
Let's do it.
Saddest news of all time.
I know.
Brendan and Serene broke up. I'm
It's the
sad.
saddest thing. What did you think of their caption? Because so they did an Instagram post, joint post, and they based something to the effect of we've been like, it's been months kind of in the making, but we are breaking our engagement today. That it's been hard to be in the public eye and not to choose sides and like hate. What was your take on it?
I don't
To
know.
me,
It's just
it was just a
sad.
little bit odd of saying how hard it is to be in the public. I mean, they've probably had the easiest ride for a bachelor couple for the like considered like with the public.
Everybody was supporting them. Is
Exactly.
that what you
Thank you. I
mean?
was I
Yeah.
was floundering. Yes.
But also, I think that sometimes is what's hard about it. Is like people are shipping you so hard that you feel like you almost like have to be together, which puts an additional pressure on the relationship if it doesn't feel 100% right, that it almost doesn't give you the space to process and work out whether you're right for each other because you just like want to make everybody happy kind of
Yeah, no,
thing.
I think that could definitely be it. Like, it's hard
Mhm.
when you're like this golden couple and like, no, we're real people and a real couple who have problems just like everybody else. But I actually, there is a psychologist or therapist, I think psychologist, who like covers reality TV that I follow. And
Mhm.
she had a really interesting take, and I wanted to talk about it.
So Back to Love Doc was talking about love bombing, and love bombing comes from like a negative place where you're kind of trying to manipulate the person into being in a relationship by saying a bunch of flattering things and all of that. But what Brendan does is not from a place of
Malice.
trying to hurt malice. Yeah, not trying to hurt not trying to hurt anybody. He truly believes these feelings and believes these things and is not trying to manipulate anyone into anything. So that name
Yeah.
needs to be taken off his record.
And she continues to say that it's an attachment style versus love bombing,
Mhm.
which is what everyone's coming at him with in the comments.
Yeah.
Then we have the gender of Becca and Thomas's kidderoni. It's a boy, and I'm so excited.
I'm excited too.
I don't have much to say on it, but it's
They
great.
Well, Becca posted a really cute video of how she told Thomas that he was going to be a
Oh
dad in like
yeah.
the pregnancy test, and he was like, "I'm going to be a daddy or a dad," whatever he said. And it was so cute. But then they also showed the next part of a little sonogram picture and her giving him a new gift. I think it was like an ad, but it was like the
That
most
it
perfect
was
ad ever.
cute.
It was really sweet.
And then we have Charity Lawson, our next bachelorette. She went back on social media this last week, and we have her
Looking
promo
sexy.
picture. Yes. What do you think of her promo picture, kind of compared to some of the other ones we've seen in the past? Because there's been some amazing ones, and there's been some real losers.
Okay, so I think it was amazing and beautiful and perfect. And I think you posted it compared to Katie Thurston's.
Poor
Oh my
Katie.
gosh. Poor Katie. They really must have hated her when you look at
Yeah.
that.
They
They
hated
really must
her,
have.
and they hated Claire. Remember, it was the one with like a young man in a sock, and he's like kind of like making her like a cougar.
Oh gosh.
It was weird. No, the best
Well, yeah, that doesn't
ones.
surprise me.
I think Charity's was great, but I also Hannah Brown's
Hannah Brown.
was incredible.
It had Taylor Swift vibes.
Yes. And I loved Tasha's. She was the one with all the like the newspapers.
Oh, I like that one too.
I really
That
liked
one was
that
cool.
one. Yeah, and we saw Charity, and she's actually, since I even put this down, she's posted a few more times on her stories where we see an engagement ring. So we know she is engaged.
Is she allowed to do that, or are they trying to do that?
I'm
maybe on
assuming they
purpose?
want us to know because
Yeah.
I mean it's like 3 posts at this time.
Yeah.
Where you see a ring, so we can assume that she does get engaged, and I just can't wait to see who she picks. Spoiler-free
Yeah.
zone over here.
And also, just because she's engaged now doesn't mean she'll be engaged in 3 months.
That's true.
I'm not trying to be rude to
After
her.
Brandon and Serene, we have no hope. Oh, and this one you're going to be excited about. So this was going around last year, maybe it was even earlier than that, of a new reality show hosted by JoJo and Jordan of The Bachelor,
Mhm.
and it's called The Big D, and it's basically a dating show, except they're all divorced and they bring their exes on the show. I'm going to be watching, and Amy, that's your favorite Bachelor couple, so I feel like
I
you
better
should be
watch.
watching. And it's streaming on Peacock, so it's super easy, and it's going to be out June 14th, so we'll let you know how it is.
Woo! We might have a little talksy boot. Toxie
What's
boo.
a toxie boot?
I have a little toxie boo about it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
All
All right.
right.
All right. We are here with at the Bravo Babe. Christina. Oh, do you want us to call you the Bravo Babe or
Call
Christina?
me Christina. You
Okay,
can
I was
call me
like, it
Christina.
would be kind of bougie though to be like, oh, you could call me the Bravo Babe, kind of like Beyonce or something. I'd be really into
Right?
that, but I'll
I
call
might
you
go by
Christina.
that in the future. In the future.
Yes. Well, we are here to recap Vanderpump Rules, but also there's been some exciting kind of things happening just today with Vanderpump Rules, and we need to react to that Vanderpump Rules reunion trailer because my jaw was on the ground. Amy, what was your first impression?
Well, number one, the editing of it was fabulous. It got me like, oh yeah, what is gonna happen? Um,
Do it.
yeah. So the thing that stood out to me the most was when Kel and Sandoval were like, they're gonna call us pathological liars. I'm like, you guys have been lying this entire season. Like, what else should we call you? Little ridiculous.
Exactly. What about you, Christina? What was like your main like takeaway that made you just like want to explode?
I had high expectations and they met all of my expectations. I was so hyped and seeing the trailer it totally made everything like everything's going to fall into place. I feel like the most exciting part was the James and Tom getting up and being the two that almost got into an altercation. I want to see that. I'm here for
I
James
need it.
Tom's place.
Yes,
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. And I think it's also for me, it was James one-liners. Like I believe he called
Yes.
them poo-poo heads and then called Sandoval a worm with a mustache. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to use that one of these days because it
I'm gonna
was
put that on a
iconic.
t-shirt.
Yes,
Yes.
please. I mean, how easy it is to make merch for Vanderpump Rules, honestly. They give
It
us so
is.
much gold. Do you have any like predictions for the reunion?
Oh gosh, I think that we're going to see Sheena's reaction to getting served with that
I didn't
paperwork.
realize it was like while they were filming.
Yes, so they already had the restraining order in place, and the paper that Raquel had Andy deliver actually had no merit. It didn't mean anything. It was the way she filled it out. She put Raquel Levis. That's not even her legal name. So it was like a fake document. I know. I'll have to
Drama
send you
queen.
guys. I'll send you guys a copy of it. I have it on my Instagram. It was a fake
Please do.
document.
It
That
is
is
wild.
crazy.
Amy, because
Yeah.
I kind of have spoke about this for like, I'm guessing, are you an OG? Have you been watching since season one?
Season
Okay,
1, 2013.
Yes, me too. Me too. And so Amy's kind of like, there's this influx of new Vanderpump Rules fans. And I feel like Amy kind of is in that category as like a new Scandival
Yes.
watcher. So, Amy, from you, like, are you up to date on like the Raquel and Sheena like altercation stuff?
I remember hearing about it, but I'm not totally. So, was it about when Scandival came out? Then like one of them pushed each other or something? Is that what happened?
It's all kind of
Or
alleged,
slapped.
but that's what, yeah, though that's the papers that she was served during filming. And then it was like, it was all just like a sham. It was ridiculous. The PR for these two people, I can't
Well, and
even
Raquel
do it.
definitely deserved it, anyways. I mean, not to entice
Right.
physical violence, but
Right? Like, I want to be punched by Sheena. Why not?
Oh, it would be an honor. It would be an
Yeah.
honor. Please, Sheena, hit me up or hit me
Literally.
too. Yes, exactly. I guess the only other thing is just I thought it was interesting the Schwartz and Sandoval dynamic. I think I am most excited to watch because there's a lot of we see a moment where they're like Sandoval is questioning like a timeline with Schwartz, and they're like, "Oh, did you guys not like
Not sync up.
connect on that?" Where do you stand on Tom Schwartz and when he knew?
I
What do
think
you
that Tom Schwartz knew in August, like he said. I think that Tom Sandoval wanted him to lie and say that he found out a couple months later, probably after Sheena's wedding. But he went full on and said, no, I knew in August. So they did not sync up their timelines. But as far as Schwartz knowing, I think that he knew and that he was going along with a playful banter with Raquel to help cover it up. I think that he was so complicit.
the whole entire time, I feel like Schwartz and Sandoval have so many conversations, and I'm just like, you guys are both just like talking crap. Like, you're just making things up as you're talking.
think
Like,
they
what is
like
this point?
they wrote like a script before all of their scenes and be like, okay,
And they
how
did
are
not
we?
memorize it well
No.
at all.
Like, how are we going to set up season 11? You know, that's what I think that they have in their minds because they know something is coming. And I guess maybe the last point, and then we'll wrap up the reunion trailer, is the big question mark of, ooh, Sandoval, like, do you love Raquel? It's a simple question. And so it makes me think, like, where were they then? And where are they now? Amy, do you think, like, Tom and Raquel are going to make it?
Well, not really, since he's sleeping with other people too. So,
I
like,
think so too. Yeah, there's
no.
so many
agree.
rumors before Raquel, after Raquel, that he's still going around town with his pants down. Christina, what do you think?
I think the same thing, but I also think that at his concert, when he is either singing Raquel is hot for me or Raquel is not for me, I feel like either way, to use her name in a song when you say she's in a mental health facility, I mean, I feel like he has to still be talking to her, because if not, that would be a bad look for him.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's so funny that you say that, because that is my next thing I wanted us to cover. Because I think you posted the video, and Tom Sandoval and the extras, they're still performing for some reason, and he did a cover of oh my goodness, Stacy's Mom, and he's like, Schwartzy, can't you see Raquel is not the girl for me? That's what I heard, but I know people are going back and forth with either the hot or the not. But I really am 50-50. They're either it's gonna be Ariana ×2, where they're gonna be together for a really long time, or I think they're already done. That's I think it's going to be one extreme or the other.
I agree. It's not going to be like we're lingering, questioning if they're together. They're either going to be full on Sandoval love affair, or they're going to be done and Raquel will never be seen again.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, which shocks me because she always throws it in Lala's face that she slept with James while he was dating Raquel, correct? I didn't watch it during that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She always throws that in her face, and it's like, now what are you doing? Like, why do you even keep saying that? Like, that's...
Right.
And the differences are so ridiculous. Like, it's the part that's the worst is, I mean, obviously Tom Sandoval cheating on Ariana is bad, no matter whatever way you look at it. But with the best friend, that just will never.
That's what
that's different.
Yeah, that's a way different kind of betrayal. And it's also like, because that, as the man, you know that that's going to hurt her double, because it's also, she's losing 2 relationships in one versus just one.
Right.
It's terrible.
They both knew that for sure, Tom and Raquel. Mm-hmm. It's so sick. It really is.
Mm-hmm. It's awful. Amy does have like a very similar experience happen to her. So it's like very like getting her point of view too. She was an Ariana at one point. I can only imagine something like this, you know. But Amy was brave enough to tell her story, and I'm excited for everyone to hear it. All right, Amy, what's up next in the docket?
Okay, so there's a new reality TV show coming out, Stars on Mars. William Shatner is the host, and Tom Schwartz is going to be on it. What do you think about that, Christina? Are you into seeing more of Schwartz, or are you kind of over it?
I am only into seeing Schwartz because isn't it Kenya or Portia who is on with him?
It is one of the Atlanta girls. I don't remember who.
Atlanta girls that's on with him. I am looking forward to her putting him right in his little boy place. Like,
yes,
he really is like going to look like like Lala said, like a little puppy. I think that they're going to eat him up. So I'm here for it. He's the kind of person who would be like the first to be voted out.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think he's going to last long. He doesn't have it in him. And then we are also going to see him on Winter House, another Bravo show. So, I mean, he's making his rounds.
Making money. He's making his money.
I mean, we see Kristen Dowdy doing like the go. This is like the Vanderpump Rules' time, like that cast of like making the most of it. And we do know we're going to have a season 11, which I'm so excited. That was confirmed. And there's it's all but confirmed. Isn't like Jax Taylor and Brittany going to come back?
That's what I've heard. I was going to say that to you guys. I heard that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I hope so. Do you hope so?
I hope so. I really do. Brittany's a sweetheart, and Jack he's evolved, but he's also still like the OG
He's
person.
still a little unhinged in the best
a
way.
little unhinged. He's unpredictable, and we love that.
Exactly. What else we got? Oh, this one really grabbed me because Sheena dropped some tea on her podcast this week that we might be hearing more about Miami Girl. Now, Miami Girl is when Tom and Ariana was first dating, he allegedly cheated on her, and it's kind of not barely been spoke of since. Now, I think this could mean one of two things. If Miami Girl actually comes back, that would be wild. Or we are going to get Sandoval to finally admit it. What do you think, Christina?
I'm hoping that he finally admits it. And actually, speaking of Kristen Doty, she on her podcast today said that we hear more about Miami Girl. We find out the truth about Miami Girl. And she also said that Ariana has always covered for Sandoval. I'm excited to see, the full story.
Yeah, and she's not going to hold back anymore, Ariana. Like, she's not going to be defending him at all. So the pressure's on.
Yeah, I think she must have either really trusted him or she knows and kind of decided to let it be. But I feel like when you're like just dating, that should be the part where cheating is easy not to do. Like, right? It should be like little later on. But
Right.
I mean, that kind of just shows who Sandoval is, in my opinion.
I agree. I totally agree.
So James and Allie just bought a house. So it's super cute. I saw it.
It's over $1 million in Burbank.
Yeah, but I'm just not sure about them for some reason. I just feel like James is crazy and Allie is like kind of more normal. I don't know.
Like, let me read your star chart. And James is like, let's go do a rave.
Basically.
Yeah.
It is interesting in the most recent episode just last night of Raquel, I believe, said it, that she thinks James is way more into Allie than Allie is into her. I would love your take on the James of it all.
That line stuck out to me. That totally agree though, because I think that James falls head over heels for people and he goes so hard when he's in something. He like hyper fixates almost. And I feel like Allie is a lot more reserved. She's taking her time. She still doesn't even know who James is, drinking or not drinking. So them living together in what sounds like a gorgeous home will be the test of time for sure.
Yeah, might end in a blow up. I don't know about that.
And the cameras will be rolling.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, house is very permanent. I mean, just ask Sandoval and Ariana. Deal. They're having to deal with a house now. So, I mean, it definitely complicates a breakup if that were to happen. But I've actually become a huge fan of Allie this season. I mean, she was the original Sandoval whistleblower.
Mm-hmm. She really was.
What do you guys think about Allie in general for James?
I think that seeing her at lunch with James' mom, she held her own very well, which is hard to do with a woman like James' mom. I feel like she's a strong, like she owns the room kind of person. You have to fit in where you do. And I feel like she passed her test. I think that she's held her own well so far. Her friendship with the girls has been drama-free. She was the original whistleblower. So I think I want to see more of her next season.
So do I. What do you think, Amy? Yeah. Is she here to stay?
Yeah, I think so. I like her a lot. I think she's just gonna have to figure out like if James is going to go on the right path and she wants to continue, or because it could just blow her life up too. And I don't know that she wants to be a part of that. But either way, I hope she sticks around. Even who cares if she's with James? I mean, is that where Raquel came from or no?
Yeah, that's where Raquel came from.
She came from somewhere.
Out in the sewers. Sorry, my bad.
We said that at the same time.
Oh, did we say it? Oh, oops. That is so funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, but I mean, that's where she came from. See, we both knew it. See, there's a part of me, like, I think what needs to happen is Allie and James break up. I love them, but like, I want them to be happy, but I think they need to be separate. I think James needs to get his shit together on his own, not date anybody. And then when he's sober and has his life figured out, and then Lala's over here and is sober and has her life figured out.
Yes.
Love.
Yes.
I ship them.
I don't know how I've never thought about that.
They're perfect. Yes. They're perfect. Yes. And we know they're attracted to each other. They've already boned. They got that out of the way. They just got to figure figure out the rest, but I would live if they were endgame.
That would be the couple of Bravo. They would be the it couple.
Yeah, Paige and Craig's got nothing on them.
No, they gotta go. They gotta go.
Yes. And then we, one more thing before we get into the full kind of recap, Ariana is going to be on Watch What Happens Live next week. The way that I jumped out of my chair when I found that out, what are you guys most looking forward to? What do you want to hear most from Ariana?
I want to hear about her movie, her Lifetime movie. I want to hear about I want to hear about all of the cool things that she has going on right now. I feel like the reunion, we'll see all of the drama and the heartbreak, but on Watch What Happens Live, I want to see more of the positive for her. What's positive? How are you thriving right now?
I love that. That's a definitely positive way to look at it. I was kind of going right into the jugular, the drama. But that's good too. That's good. That's probably a more healthy way to look at it.
Right. Well, I'm sure she's asked this at the reunion, but I kind of wonder if she ever actually considered Sandoval and Raquel messing around when people were suggesting it. Was there anything in her mind that actually was oh, maybe something is weird? Or was it straight up she had no idea?
Right.
I'm really curious.
No, that's a good one.
We'll get the answer.
I hope so. And now it opened up the newest episode with Raquel buying the lightning bolt necklace. Christina, will you do the honors in telling Amy what this means? Because I think she might have missed that on the early Scandival train.
Well, the significance of the lightning bolt necklace is that Tom wears one all the time. Raquel purchased one and started wearing it. And that's sort of what we heard was their secret love language to each other, that they saw each other's lightning bolt necklaces. One of the songs for his cover band is Baby, You're Like Lightning in a Bottle. And when he sings it, there's one of the videos and you can see he's looking straight into her eyes, like he was speaking to her. So the lightning bolts are they're signed to each other. And he still rocks them. Even at his gig the other day, he wore the double lightning bolt vest. So he's all in on it. He's capitalizing on the
lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's an indicator that they are still
could be, but
together or whatever.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Christina, because you've been kind of really covering the Bravo world longer than me and might know more things. But I feel like lightning bolt was already kind of Tom Sandoval's thing, and it seemed like Raquel just kind of jumped onto that. So it makes me think, I was is it really their secret language, or is it only to Raquel? Is it more of a one-sided thing, oh, he likes lightning bolts, I'm gonna get a lightning bolt thing? And so it's almost I don't know, a little puppy dog following him around. Their dynamic has got to be interesting.
It's from Mean Girls when she's I saw her wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I'm wearing army pants and flip-flops. Maybe she saw how crazed he was about lightning bolts and was oh, I want to have a part of, what's important to him. But it's gross.
So gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel having her buy it also separate from being with him. I was thinking maybe he got it for her or they went together and got it. But she just randomly bought it with her friend by herself. So that's kind of okay.
For $780.
Right.
I'm sorry. No.
It wasn't even cute. Outside of the scandal of it all, it's just kind of not cute.
No. Mm-mm. And the fact that they had the footage of her buying it is kind of wild. I understand the Scandival, people, there's that small group who don't believe in it, it's all made up. I was with things like that, they have points, but I mean, I'm a Scandival believer, but yes. I understand it for sure. Oh, I think the whole part, we've talked a little bit about them, more Schwartz and Sandoval trying to lead up to an Ariana breakup. But this week we really saw Tom Sandoval and Ariana talk about their relationship. And it kind of made me think, I was actually texting Amy earlier, I was spiraling. I actually cried during that. I don't know what it is. For some reason, Scandival wasn't, ick, everything he was saying, I get the Scandival element, but for some reason I started watching it as if, let's put Scandival aside. And they've been together for 9-10 years. And I think the conversation that they were having of they're not spending time together, kind of, someone who's been in a relationship for over 10 years, you get in those ruts. And I feel like it's like such a real thing. And like if Scandal was aside, it could have been like a really cool moment of seeing of them showing of like, people love each other. The relationships, no matter how long they are, like they go through bumps and, finding like trying to fight through it. And I felt, I don't know, am I making any sense? I'm kind of rambling.
No, it makes
But I
sense for
guess
sure.
okay, good. I'm kind of going through a weird season with my husband now, and so I guess I could kind of like relate to it, but like not that either of us are gonna go fuck Raquel, but
Right.
you know what I mean. So I kind of like saw it like that. I don't know, what were your guys' take watching that conversation between Ariana and Sandoval?
I felt for Ariana and Sandoval a little bit. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to feel for him. But when you see two sides of a relationship, because it does take two people to make it work. So, I'm not putting any blame on Ariana because she's a queen. But if his needs weren't being met emotionally and her needs weren't being met at all, it just takes two people, and to want to work through it, which I thought they did, was a nice thing. It gave you hope, like, oh, they can push through, they can work on it. But to know what he was doing the whole time behind her back while speaking about repairing a relationship is just so sick.
Icky.
Yeah, it was like confusing because it's like, why is he putting in all this effort or it's like he's trying to switch the narrative to being Ariana's fault instead of just, if you're really that upset, just break up and then you can go do whatever you want. Not saying that like, if they want to be together, but you know what I mean? Like if he's going to go do that, they should just not be together. He needs to quit. He's like manipulating her without her even knowing that he is, if that makes sense. Yeah.
She was like, go buy batteries and toilet paper. When he said that, I was like, or what did she say? She doesn't keep the drawers stocked with batteries and like toothpicks. I don't know.
Yes. This is a PSA. If you don't buy toilet paper for your man, he's going to cheat on you. Right. So everyone, the warning is out.
I told my husband that, and he looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry I don't stock the drawers with batteries. Please don't leave me.
Yeah, basically. And I came back to earth really quick. I put Sandoval aside, but then all of a sudden it came back and I was just like, ew. But I mean, he's definitely trying to change that narrative. Oh, do you have a kid?
I have 3.
You have 3. Oh,
I do.
So nice.
They're upstairs with my mom right now, but they might make a little ooh and ah here and there.
It's all good. Amy is up like in her.
Mine are downstairs with my mom.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
I have my 4 cats that are in the other room. That's my.
Oh.
So if you hear a meow, they're coming from that way.
Yeah, they're coming from over here.
So I feel like the most cringy part of the episode for me was Ariana and Raquel talking at Sir in the little garden bar area. I'm just like, Raquel, what is your motive in this? Is she like trying to get Ariana to break up with Sandoval? Is she just trying to get information? Like, what was that?
What was it? Like, that's what left me wondering is like, what was that? It was heartbreaking to watch because you see Ariana so vested in a friendship that she's willing to be this vulnerable and open up about something so intimate and private, which is your sex life. For her to feel comfortable enough with Raquel to say like, this is what I am doing. This is what I'm not doing. And then you look at Raquel's side and she's digging for questions because she just wants to know, oh, where do I stand with Sandoval based on his relationship with Ariana?
And when Ariana finds out about all this, and if she does think back to that conversation, like, what was Raquel saying? Like, oh, well, I'm single and I want to have sex, like saying all this stuff to Ariana. Like, how is that going to make her feel? Like, what?
It's diabolical.
Why?
It is.
Like when she started crying, when Raquel started crying because of like Ariana's like body image, I'm just like, what do you think you cheating on her boyfriend is going to do to her? Like, she's already kind of having these body image issues. And then you're like, do you really care? Like, the thing is about Raquel, I think she does care in the moment, but I don't know. Some things aren't
it's not all there. No.
Yeah, it's probably I'm not trying to be rude. Well, this is so rude no
Do
matter
it,
what, but
please.
it's probably good she's in a mental facility because she really needs some help.
It
She
it's
She
needs
does,
very
because it's
questionable.
confusing. Yeah, because like, even in the past episodes, her saying, like, "These are my forever people. These are" it's just like, where do you think that this is going then? It's so confusing. Like, do you think you're never gonna get caught? But then you also kind of I guess maybe they could have a plan all along. They were trying to get Ariana and Sandoval to break up, and then they were gonna kind of, like, pretend to start dating later on or something. I don't know, but
They didn't plan it really
it just
good.
doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she's a good actress, man. If this is all fake, like, holy cow.
right?
yeah, entirely. And I think it's really what it was either her trying to get Ariana to break up with Tom and like also probably a fact finding mission, to see like how she's going to leverage her relationship with Tom and how and who knows what Tom's telling her too. It's like, oh, like she knows we're going to break up soon, or he kind of did that with Kristen Dowdy back in the day too. I mean, it's history repeating. I kind of mentioned it to Amy before in a past episode. It's kind of spooky how everything with Kristen and Ariana is working out, and then Raquel and Ariana, even though Ariana is nothing close to Raquel in that comparison, but everything else, just how Tom Sandoval talks about it and is maneuvering in this really tricky situation. So
I got the chills.
yeah, it was
Talking
the
about it, it hypes me up, and then I get emotional, and then I get amped up again.
no, I know. I think I'm gonna have to be standing up when I watch the reunion. Like I'm gonna have to I just
I'm
don't think
gonna
I'll be
have
able
to
to sit
smoke a joint
down. Too
before I
much
watch.
adrenaline.
Seriously, yeah. Um, and I feel like as someone who has, like, confided in a best friend, well, that best friend was also communicating with my husband, it's like there's, like, a level of embarrassment that comes for, like, how Ariana's feeling now. There's, like, a level of embarrassment, like, how could how could this person let me, like, tell them these things? How could they not, or if, like, Raquel did know more about what's going on in their relationship than she knew, they were friends, Sandoval and Raquel, according to Ariana, they were friends. Raquel could have helped Ariana through her relationship if that was the case. It's just, it makes it really muddy and just, like, so sad.
But
Just really, really heartbreaking.
Yeah, and on top of that conversation, I also just Ariana continually defending her throughout the season. It's just a slap in the
Mhm.
she
face.
went so hard defending her. She defended her against everybody. They did the whole glamping trip where I feel like they really had that bonding moment. They got super intimate. And even then, when she was saying, "These are my forever friends, my forever people."
Mhm.
Ariana rode so hard for her all season.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
just so awful. I just don't like to think that humans are capable of things like that because I
I
just
know, but
couldn't even
sadly, it's
fathom.
happening.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, let's end with like the biggest, like one of the most iconic fights of the season, just because it was in the Sir alleyway. I didn't realize how much I missed that alleyway. Amy, like that was where shit went down early seasons, and
Oh
like
yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
them, yeah, seeing them back there. I would love your guys' take on it because there's so much happening. How do I want to start? Let's start with Raquel going up to Katie and sticking up for Schwartz. Like, what in the world?
She brought up the dogs. You don't bring up the dogs.
Oh, it was just, I didn't understand. And then when she snapped at Terry Maloney,
Oh my goodness. So I have a little insider tea. Well, it's
ooh,
not
please
super
tell.
insider because Katie's brother Joey posted on Twitter. He was like, I never use this hashtag, but I'm gonna use the hashtag pump rules because it wasn't shown, but I stuck up for my mom 3 times when Sandoval was going after her. Apparently he told her to shut the F up to Terry. Yes. So then Terry responded and confirmed it and was like, yes, you had to stick up for me and jump in 3 times while I was being yelled at by Sandoval. Why didn't we
Oh
get to
my
see this?
goodness.
Why wasn't it shown?
Whoa. I mean, it was just, I'm sure like so much went down at that third party, apparently. And I feel like they probably had to make some decisions, but like, to keep moms out of it. And I don't think that Terry, like, just play devil's advocate. People are saying, like, Terry shouldn't have gotten involved at all. That's her daughter. Like, these are she has been around, like Tom Schwartz is her family. Like she is very involved in this. And I thought she was fairly being respectful. I don't think she did anything that crossed the line that would enact that type of reaction.
I agree.
Yeah, and she was like staying quiet the whole first part of that conversation that went like Raquel walks up saying like, "Oh, I tried your sandwiches." Like, almost like, "Oh, is this going to be another apology or something like that?" And then it quickly turned to just like bashing on Katie. And you are not a part of Katie and Schwartz's relationship whatsoever. You're not even dating Schwartz. So like, why are you even coming to have this conversation?
Go straight to the alley then. Katie and Schwartz they try to have a private conversation, and guess who rolls up? Like,
dun dun dun.
I could not. And the part that got me the most was like, as an OG, I've watched Katie and Schwartz this whole time, and him not defending her. And for the fact in that moment, in that situation, Tom Schwartz still decided to pick Raquel over Katie is so telling. And if I was already done with him when they were glamping at the table and Schwartz made a joke about Raquel liking taken men when he knew what was happening right in front of Ariana's face. If that hadn't already lost me, this would have.
Yes.
Like, Tom Schwartz has turned out to be such a villain. And I was actually such a Schwartz stan before Scandival.
Totally.
What thoughts?
I totally agree. I feel like, I don't think that Katie and Schwartz having the conversation in the alley was going to end well regardless. I think that emotions were high on both ends, but for Raquel to come out and continue to try to insert her narrative, like she either just wanted airtime, and she just wanted to try to make Katie look bad in the situation because she knew that when everything comes out, oh, I'm going to look really bad. So let me try to villainize Katie in this situation. And this is like Scandival aside. This is just, her situation with Schwartz, which is insane in itself. Yeah. And I saw that it was, shout out to Queens of Bravo for figuring this out. 7 years ago in the Sir Alley, we had Katie and Tom discussing him making out with somebody behind her back, and then flash forward to 7 years later and she's putting his ass in place back in the same spot. So love to see it blow up.
I am just so excited to see Katie Maloney shine next season. Like Ariana too, but something about, I think people thought Katie was going to be like the villain, but really of the season, because I know she gets, like, people call her mean girl. I'm not someone who does that because I think she stands up for herself, and I have loved watching her this season. Amy, what was your take?
Raquel coming into that, she was like having double personalities because she came out there to start apologizing. It was like, why did you? Yeah, that whole thing doesn't make sense to me. And then I also feel like, Schwartz 100% should have said, okay, Raquel, go back inside. Me and Katie need to talk. Like, that would have been a way to at least, and slightly diffuse the situation even with Katie, because I think that would have made Katie feel good as well. So like, just that tiny little act could have made such a difference. And he's an idiot. And Raquel, if I see Raquel go up to Schwartz and do a little snicker one more time, I'm going to reach through that TV.
Just don't mess with Amy. I don't know. Sorry if I don't know where the credit is from, but I saw this thing and it was actually at an interesting lens and made me think of it differently. Remember when Sandoval said he was I don't think he said it was hot, but he was all in on Raquel standing up for himself with Lala and all this. He's like, I love seeing, I think that's probably behind the scenes what he's also feeding to Raquel. And I think that Raquel is wanting Sandoval's attention and likes that he likes her being more confrontational.
That is such a good take.
She puts herself in those situations to rile up Sandoval further, romping later on.
Kind of get his approval almost too. That's such a good take.
Yeah, I wish I could get credit. I don't remember where I saw this. It was floating in my brain. But I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yes. So we have one more episode, finale, and then we have a 3-part reunion. Let's wrap it up. Final thoughts and/or predictions of what we're gonna see.
I think that next week, I'm excited to see the conversation that Sheena has with Tom. I think that
Well, I want her to tear him apart.
Sandoval, I think that's his first conversation that he has is with her. So I want to hear that because I'm hoping she asks all the right questions and gets all the right answers.
Same.
I just need to clarify something really quick. So we are not going to see right when Ariana finds out
Cameras weren't
on
there.
camera.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I
No,
thought so.
but
So
like
she
as soon
found
as
out, it was
Go
the
ahead.
third or the first is when she found out, and then it became public on the third, I want to say.
And
Okay.
then I think within 48 hours, they had cameras.
Yes.
Once it became public knowledge.
Yeah, I'm not excited to see Raquel and Tom Sandoval kiss.
Ooh,
I'm
me
not
neither.
excited for that one.
Yeah, they're apparently
I'm
kissing
gonna throw
on
up.
screen.
I'm gonna keep a puke.
But
Yep, keeping a puke bucket by my couch.
yes, for sure. And I think, I keep losing. I think maybe we're done because I keep losing track. It's all right.
That's
Sometimes
okay.
the thoughts just keep moving without you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and we are going to be following here on our podcast as well as I'm sure the Bravo Babe. She has a podcast as well. Tell us where we can find you, what you'll be covering. I want to know all about it.
Well, on my Instagram, I cover all things Bravo, but I specifically covered everything Scandival. So everything that you could think of, the Bravo Babe has it. And then on Spotify, I have Gossip with Bravo Babe. Every Thursday, we recap New Jersey. We recap Vanderpump Rules. So everything Jersey, because that is my heart and soul franchise.
Same.
I'm your go-to person. So we're always going to dish on Jersey. But yeah, I'm just at the Bravo Babe. And then if you want to follow my Twitter, I am an uncensored, unhinged tweeter. So
she's great. I follow her and I love every second of it.
Yeah.
And then I will be making an appearance, right? Or after this, you're kind of done with me. I'd get it.
Oh no. So next week, let's plug that. Gossip with Bravo Babe next week. My special guest is here with me right now.
Oh, I get to talk about the finale with you? Oh, yes. I'm excited.
That's exciting. We're going to recap the finale. We get to talk about also Jersey's finale. We have double finales.
Oof, that's a lot of pressure. Okay. All right, let's do it.
We're going to kill it.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully you could come on again. This was so much fun. And go follow at the Bravo Babe right now.
Yes. Thank you, ladies.
Bye. We have new episodes every week. Every Friday, we'll be recapping the Vanderpump Rules and reality TV news like usual. And the next thing we're covering is The Ultimatum on Netflix.
Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit on the bell notification on YouTube, as well as rate and review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
You can email us at stopwearingmyclothes@gmail.com or leave us a voice message. We still haven't gotten one, but if you guys want to, let's talk. It'll be right in the description, the link.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at stopwearingmyclothespod, as well as on Twitter at stopwearingmy.
We'll see you next time.